Welcome back to Carolina Rut Cuddles. Today we are working on something that is literally the worst thing ever, guys. Literally the worst. There's only 5 things I hate in this world, and this is 4 of them. This thing has been nothing but a headache. I've been working on it, and no matter what I do, I just can't. There's always something else broken. So, to go through this, it wasn't running. Guy let it sit out for a while. He tried to hot wire it. That didn't work. It burned up everything. So finally, after months, he gave me a harness. Okay, we got a harness. We had to go ahead and get a new display right here, new display because the old one was broken. Let's see, what else? We put a new push button because no matter what we do, it still will not read the push button. We also went ahead and put a new rectifier on it because it was showing over voltage. This thing is just a headache. So what is the next thing we are going to change? Because why not keep changing things? Fuel pump. Fuel pump is bad. How do I know it's bad? I checked it. It was at 20. I think it's supposed to be like 50 or 60. It is like half of what it's supposed to be. I don't exactly remember how much. So we're going to go ahead and change this fuel pump and see if maybe we can get this thing running a little better. And yes, I've already drained the fuel and cleaned that out in case somebody's wondering about that. Moment of truth, how bad is it? Not terrible. I've seen worse. I mean, really, it's not. I mean, I've seen some bad fuel pumps. This fuel pump really don't look bad. But it is bad, so it doesn't matter how it looks. And we got a cheap fuel pump. Not my best decision. Every cheap fuel pump I get lately doesn't last long. This one might be different. This had a lot of good reviews. Okay, the first thing you always want to do is put them side by side and make sure they are the right one. Yep, looked right to me. Just double check, make sure the wire's right and all that before you put it in gas. Because once you put it in gas, you can't send it back, people. You will be surprised how many people you have to tell that. Like, oh no, I put it in. Or don't put it in until you check it.
That's what she said.
So now let's throw this in. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. I did have to pop my little doohickey there in. Other than that, yeah, that's simple. So let's throw it in and see what happens. Okay, fuel pump sounds healthy. We got it charged. But we can't do anything because it's still showing E for enough. Or in this case, screw you. We can't get nothing to work on this thing. I've spent so much time and effort and money for this guy, and I still cannot get it to want to crank over. At least we're getting fuel now. Before we couldn't even get fuel pressure. What is that? It's a random peg. But we got the trusty dusty. I don't think my jump box is exactly the healthiest. So I'm assuming that this is too much. I hooked that on, the fuel pump does not come on. But if I hook the jump box to it, it does. And you can't start it because, as I said, it's all off. It just says E and H, and I've done all the wiring, I've done everything, and I can't get this thing straight. It is so confusing. I wonder if I put a battery that would help. I know that's probably something I should have done before, but I'm going to go ahead and try to put a battery on it and hope that fixes it because I've about had enough of this thing. Holy crap. It's been one wiring nightmare after another, after another, after another, after another. And when it's all said and done, it's because I'm not getting anywhere. I was able to get it to start the other day with the battery, just a little bit. But that was with a bad fuel pump. So maybe if I can find a fuel battery, I can at least cross solenoids. I can put 2 wires together. Because for some reason, it's just showing E. I've got all the wires right. I've went through. I've got the diagram. We've gone through all this. It's like, what is this thing missing? What is it killing me on? But anyways, let's jump on the 6x6, and I'm gonna show y'all, I guess, some of the funniest things I've been doing to it, or maybe some of the dumbest things. Because I'm not gonna do a full video on the rebuild because that get boring fast. So here's just some things that I think about. I've already recorded the video, but it's kind of be interesting to say, hey, what do y'all think? Which is really just kind of a speed walkthrough, to be honest, because we ain't got crap done this week. We have been struggling. Anyways, hang on. Let me show you this for us. Look at this, guys. I don't know if I showed it, but we now got a side piece. We got a side piece for the box. We got a little piece down there so the bolts can't slide, because we ended up actually grooving it out a little bit, getting a little slotted, because we tried to drill a new hole and it didn't work out. We got a cardo key. We got everything. It seems tight, but I think that's the cat's meow. Anyways, I'll catch you in the 6x6 part of this video. I think it was supposed to be its own video, but I didn't end up recording a lot because I got really busy and really aggravated. So I will catch y'all in that video. Welcome back to Carolina Rut Cuddles. Today we are trying to get the 6x6 back together, and it is fighting us every bit of the way. I don't know what Honda was thinking with this thing. So we decided to do a whole top end. Well, we found out the timing chain was messed up. It was kind of loose, so we had to take all of this off. We went ahead and put valves in it because, come on, let's be honest. Well, she still smokes really bad. Good to know, she had to quit smoking. But in order to get the timing chain off, you have to take everything off. The clutches, the oil pump. Like, what were they thinking? And guys, this stuff don't look good. Moment of truth, how bad is the screen? I ain't looked, oh gosh. Yeah, that's not good. We're gonna have to flush this engine out. I don't remember, oh wait, never mind. We did just sink it. I keep forgetting we sunk it.
Flashback.
It's my own little boat. I couldn't afford a boat, so I had to buy foil. Ah, no. Oh, and again. Holy. No. Oh, we're gone. No.
End of flashback.
We sink it all the time. We love sinking this thing. Still running though. Lord Jesus. I mean, just look at the backside of this. Woo. That's some good stuff right there. That's the forbidden milk. In case y'all want to see just how stretched it is, about that much. You might not think that's a lot, but that's a lot of stretch. In case you're wondering how to get the oil pump off, pretty easy. You take this bolt off, and then there's one here, one below, one on the side, and this one. If you take, hang on, let's go back. This one, get the oil line. You can pull it out a little bit. I don't think it comes out of there, or at least mine didn't. And then you got bolt here, there, and there. Gets the oil pump out, and then you get right to the timing chain. Remember, front one's left-hand threaded, back one's right-hand threaded. In other words, that's pretty self-explanatory. I don't think I have to explain that to you. If you don't know what left-hand and right-hand threaded is, I don't know how to help you. Next step, let's go ahead and put all this together, which is a pain. Now we're going to go ahead and put our clutches on. This one, if you notice, it ain't quite lined up. If you take your finger, gently put it in here, spin it, and then you should be able to get the splines lined up. At least that's how I did it. Or you can put a screwdriver in there. The fingers is not the best because you might pinch it. You need both hands for this. Voila, like I said, I just grabbed my finger here, turned it slightly until it fell right on. Now look, it's in there. That ain't hard, is it? Now went ahead and put our guard back on. Slide our gear reduction on in case somebody ever wondered. 75%. The washer's still up there. Mine has not came off, just FYI. At least it ain't supposed to be off. I need to double check. So my washer is missing, so let's go fishing. Oh, wait, I got it. FYI, I already got it before I started the video, but I was wondering where my washer was. I thought I heard a bloop bloop. There it is. Make sure the washer is behind your gear heel. Now this is the hard part if you've ever done this, guys. You're gonna take that little hook there, then twist this until you can get it under here and slowly walk it. Make sure your washer's up there. If your washer ain't up there behind it, you're screwed. If your washer falls in the engine, you're really screwed. Just FYI. And yeah, the rest of it's self-explanatory. It all just kind of goes well. It came off. But yeah, as you can see, everything seems to be perfect. Perfection, guys. We got this thing back together. Now we got to put the engine together. Lord Jesus, help me. This is going to take forever. Got the case on. In case you're wondering where the couple long ones go, 2 of them go with these. You know, easy. I left them in there. So here's a regular size one. If you put it in this hole right here, see how it just falls in? If you take the long one that you had from it, see how they're all sticking out about the same. And that's the only other long one other than the 2 that hold the straps there. Very simple, very easy. I mean, you can see they all hang out about the same distance. As long as they're hanging out that distance, you know you've got the right one. Well, guys, we got the piston in. Holy crap. Trying to get your hand in between these to get that little ring in there, pain in the neck. I swear, I've been here for I don't know how long. Now we get to put the jug on, and we're almost done other than timing it. So let's keep this going. I'm trying to get this done tonight as fast as I can.
Eventually.
Okay, guys, we got it all back together. It's crudely laying here. Hopefully the gas and anything's running through it. I'm pretty sure it is. Let's see if it runs. The timing's a little, I don't know. I'm hoping I got it right, but I was a little confused. The timing chain was very tight for no reason, even though nothing was there. So will it run? Well, guys, it runs, like I said, I mean, holy crap. You gotta love a good single cylinder engine. They're just so simple, no confusion, they just go. Even though the timing chain was very off. I was able to get it on time, and I really was 100% sure it was on time. But it was a pain, guys. And this thing just fought me all night. That's why I didn't do no more videos, because I was getting my butt handed to me, to be honest. Now, there was a lot of confusion here, because the rings, as you can see, aren't terrible. The oil ring is a little off. The oil ring's a little off, but the rest of it really isn't that bad. And this cylinder, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not the best, but I've seen more. So I really wonder if maybe it was the valves. We ended up replacing the valves because we weren't taking any chances. But guys, I'm happy. This thing runs. So now we got to put it all back together and probably take it mudding next week. That's probably about what we do. I would want to take it mudding this weekend, but we do need to get a little break-in hours, and we need to smoke test everything and see if we can hopefully figure out why I cut off last time. I really think it was the back pressure, or didn't have enough of it because the way it was smoking. If you watch all my videos, you know. Yeah, it just, maybe that was the reason, but we're going to dilate your grease and everything. Make sure all the vents are good. Anyways, I got to button this all back up, so I guess I'll catch you on the next one. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and we'll have the 6x6 maybe out next week. I'm hoping I can drive it. I also have a Can-Am, as you saw in the beginning of the video. We're working on that. We have so much going on, guys. We're hopefully going to get going next week.